Mordru, alter ego, formerly Rin of Gemworld. Occupation, Emperor, Sorcerer. Known relatives, multiple wives, including Meister Nal. Group affiliation, none. Base of operations, Farn. First appearance, Adventure Comics 369, June 1968. Height, 7'6", weight, 300 pounds, eyes, blue, hair, white. History. One of the mightiest sorcerers of all time, Mordru first turned up in this existence on the Sorcerer's World, then called Gemworld, later Xerox, in the 20th century. Legend has it he was deposited on that planet by the Lords of Chaos, but his exact origin is unknown. Mordru's attempts to conquer the Gemworld were thwarted, and Princess Amethyst of Gemworld punished him by burying him alive. Mordru's already dark psyche was deeply scarred by this cruel penalty, and when he finally escaped his entombment 1,000 years later, he resurfaced with hatred and fear that knew no bounds. He emerged in the 30th century as a seemingly humble apprentice sorcerer, but the combination of his innate powers, the new training he was receiving, and the driving force of his boundless hatred was producing fearsome powers. Mordru later crushed all dissenting voices and rose to rule Xerox as absolute dictator. He immediately channeled all of Xerox's resources into the building of an awesome military machine and then launched invasions of neighbouring planets. His foe's might was woefully inadequate, and Mordru overrun worlds in rapid succession. His powers were approaching their zenith, and it seemed nothing could stop him from conquering the entire universe. But then Mordru learned that Glorith, a woman with mystical time displacement powers, stood to halt his rise, so he attacked her and a brutal, gruesome battle followed. The two mighty forces struggled to a bloody stalemate that left both permanently weakened. Mordru limped back to Xerox and attempted to resume his military campaign. The mighty wizard was finally defeated when he attacked Earth and directly engaged the Legion of Superheroes. The Legionnaires devastated his armies and sealed the sorcerer in an airless vault. Though he eventually escaped and fought the Legion numerous times, Mordru met defeat after defeat at the Legion's hands and was ultimately routed by Darkseid and then stripped of his magical abilities and memories by the Council of Teachers. His story might have ended here, and it certainly appeared Mordru was destined to lead a long, contented life on Xerox, but that was before the planet was destroyed during the Magic Wars. The community lost most of its magic and was forced to relocate to Farn. Shortly thereafter, the United Planet's economy imploded in the Great Collapse of 2989, and the door was opened for invasion by the warring Khans. Facing subjugation by the Khans, the sorcerers realised that among them only Mordru stood a chance of beating back the invading fleets. The Council of Teachers gambled that they could restore Mordru's powers without reigniting the evil in him. Mordru did indeed save Farn from the Khans, but he also proved every bit as autocratic and sadistic as he ever was. Mordru can once again realistically entertain his driving millennium-old dream of conquering the known universe, but his powers are still vastly inferior to what they once were. What almost no one in the universe realises is that Mordru indirectly caused the formation of the Legion. Rival forces that anticipated his rise and otherwise inevitable triumph were able to set events in motion that led to the Legion's creation. The strategy was to build a force that would check Mordru's rise and clear a path, allowing others to achieve the absolute power that was being snatched from Mordru. But the Legion has risen above that unknown, cynical purpose and has thus far thwarted all of Mordru's attempts in the late 30th century to subjugate the universe. Powers and weapons. Mordru is a sorcerer of immeasurable magical power. At his zenith, he was limited only by his own imagination and the opposition of his most powerful rivals. More recently, Mordru's numerous fierce battles have taken their toll, and the magnitude of his powers is far less than what it was. His only known weakness is being deprived of air, a condition that psychologically paralyses him.